mind.
Okay, no, not at all. Well, I've done a lot of preaching in Minnesota about how important it is for Minnesota's economy and for Michigan's economy facing the structural change that it faces, having to think about what do we do now that the auto industry is where it is, how do we diversify. It's got to be even more important for here because economies increasingly, not only in the United States, but also internationally, are competing on the basis increasingly of brain power, not whether or not you have hydroelectric power, not whether or not you have steel close by, but whether or not you have the talent and the brain power. And so decreasing investment in this area at this time has implications for the future of the Michigan economy that I think are especially dire.
This area in it is early childhood, is what you're talking about, right?
Early childhood, yes, and of course all of education, because to do a really good job of preparing people for school through early childhood education, and then putting them in the same old school system, you don't get all of the benefit you could get from continuing to look at the rest of education as well. But what the research shows is that early is very important, and the cost of bringing kids up to grade level in second grade and fourth grade and sixth grade and eighth grade, if they didn't start prepared at the time, is much higher. So even in terms of the total bill of education to get people to where you want to get them to, putting money in early childhood, those dollars are extremely well spent.
And business people should understand this and should support this.
It's easier for business people to understand this than it is for some other people to understand it. And what we found in Minnesota is that some of the most vocal advocates are both the research director of the Federal Reserve Bank and corporate leaders in great numbers, so great in fact that we have formed the Minnesota Early Learning Foundation, which is doing pilot programs to raise money, both private and public, and start pilot programs of high quality early childhood education. And the leaders of that come from places like Cargill, Wells Fargo Bank, H.B. Fuller, and then the large companies in Minnesota, because they look down the road and think about who their workforce is going to be in 10 or 20 years and who they want it to be if they're going to stay in Minnesota. And I'm sure Michigan businesses will be making the same kind of calculation.
Thanks very